Hey guys, Antedeluvian here, and today we're gonna go over chapter 211 of Blue Lock. So the chapter begins with the ace eater, Don Lorenzo, easily stealing the ball from Kaiser. Isagi is shocked by Lorenzo's skills, stating that Lorenzo's positioning, physical ability, and vision are all top tier. We also see that Lorenzo is hailed as the strongest CB in the world for the U20 division, which should come as no surprise really. I mean, he is part of the New Gen World 11, and he has a name that's straight out of a Godfather movie. Next, we get some back and forth conversation between Kaiser and Lorenzo. I'll try to sum this up as best I can, but essentially, Kaiser calls Lorenzo, and I quote, a creepy gold toothed loan shark who only sees people as money. And Lorenzo, being the literal Don that he is, doesn't even deny this. He then proceeds to look at all the bastard München players and state their current offer price in the Neo Egoist League before going on the counterattack. Kunigami immediately comes to intercept him, but Lorenzo straight up blows past him like it's nothing. To all you Kunigami fans in the audience, I am sorry for your loss. Next up on the menu for the Ace Eater is Mr. Sexy Football himself, Raichi Jingo. Raichi tries taunting Lorenzo into a duel, but Lorenzo just straight up insults him, stating that Raichi is worth absolutely no money, which is kinda true because Raichi really doesn't have any offers in the Neo Egoist League. Lorenzo then unleashes a series of crazy feints, shouting and having fun as he blows past Raichi as well. Raichi comments that he can't read Lorenzo's center of gravity, stating that Lorenzo's upper body and lower body seem to be moving in totally different directions. Raichi goes so far as to liken Lorenzo to a zombie, which is obviously a reference to the chapter's title, Zombie. Lorenzo makes his way further up the field. He makes a quick pass to Sendo, who in turn passes it to Abdi, who passes the ball back to Lorenzo. As a result of this little triangular passing sequence, the Uber's defense get past Yukimiya as well. On the sidelines, the monk Igarashi and Hyori Yo are watching the decimation of Bastard's defense from the bench. Igarashi is terrified by how good the Uber's passing is. However, Hyori states that the thing that's actually scary is the Uber's game strategy. Okay, theory time. So the Ubers, when on defense, would utilize the 3-5-1-1 formation to string together consecutive presses. Now, the presses are not random. The goal of these presses would be to funnel the opposition players towards Lorenzo, who would wait on the back line ready to steal the ball. Once Lorenzo does steal the ball, he goes from a CB to a midfielder, while Nico drops back to fill the CB position. This technique maximizes Lorenzo's abilities and allows all the other Ubers players to play off Lorenzo. Essentially, this is a way for them to all attack at the same time. So this makes Ubers, who are known to be more of a defensive team, into an extremely aggressive and organized counter-attacking team. Now, back to the action. Lorenzo has already made his way into the penalty area and is getting ready to shoot. Mensah tries to stop him on defense, but Lorenzo simply evades him by leaping into the air. Gagamaru calls for more defenders, and Corona makes his way towards Lorenzo to try to stop the attack. However, Hyori immediately realizes that Bastard's defense have fallen for the Uber's trap. Because while the majority of the defense is focused on stopping Lorenzo, they weren't keeping track of the one demon of a player that is literally built for these kind of situations. Lorenzo, still airborne, makes a quick, precise pass to the other side of the field, where another player is blazing his way forward into the penalty area, completely unmarked. Enter Mr. Lion King himself, Barou. Okay guys, before we continue with the chapter, I'd like to take a moment to tell you something really important. I've just started this YouTube channel and this is probably one of the first videos that I've uploaded. So I just want to say thank you to all of you that decided to click on this video and watch it. It means a lot to me. I intend to make a lot of content on not just Blue Lock but other manga and anime as well, particularly Jujutsu Kaisen. And I'll try to get you guys chapter reviews and videos within hours of the chapters being dropped from next time. This took a really long time because it is the first video. I'll also be making a lot of other independent Blue Lock content, basically stuff that I wish people on YouTube would post videos about. So I'd like to ask you to please subscribe if you can. It would really help me devote more time to getting you guys better content. And click that bell icon thingy so that you know when a new video drops. Now with all that out of the way, back to the chapter. So we last ended with Lorenzo making a deadly pass to Barrow. All of Bastard's defense looks on in horror as the ball heads towards Barrow. But then, appearing like a god out of nowhere, Isagi, the meta-vision maniac himself, intercepts and steals the ball just before it reaches Barrow. The chapter ends with everyone on the field in shock as Lorenzo wonders how Isagi is only worth 50 million yen. Okay, this was honestly a pretty good chapter. I really loved Lorenzo in this chapter. His personality totally matches with his character design, and I think that they did a great job with him. Also, I'm personally more biased towards defenders rather than strikers, even if this is a manga about strikers. And Aiko and Nico are two of my favorite characters, and Lorenzo seems to be joining this list. So it was great to see a new Gen World 11 defender actually go to work in this chapter. And I will say, he decimated Bastard Muchen's defense. And he did that mostly single handedly. So you have to respect the guy for that. I will say what I wasn't expecting in this chapter was Isagi turning up so early. I mean, normally it takes the guy at least 3 puzzles and maybe one half of the game before he turns up, but apparently not this time. I personally think he wisened up and pre-made his puzzles before the game, but that's just my theory. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Regarding the future of the game, a lot of people speculated that Ubers were going to win this game. And when the match was first announced and we got the whole hype of Barrow being the number one offered player in the Neo Egoist League, honestly, it looked like the Ubers were going to be undefeatable. But the fact of the matter is that in this chapter, I've seen 2 factors that really make me question if the Ubers even have a chance to win at all. So the first factor is obviously Isagi turning up this early. We've never seen him do that, so that's a bad sign for the Ubers. And number 2 is actually the strategy for the Ubers. See, Lorenzo is the core of the Ubers team, and he utilizes himself both as a CB but also as a midfielder, and he attracts attention. So while the opposition is scrambling trying to deal with Lorenzo, Barrow has the free reign to go and get opportunities to score. And this is great for Barrow. It really works with how his character is and how his skills are. And it also really explains how Barrow scored a hat trick in his first game. But that's the issue. This explains how Barrow scored his hat trick in the first game. Like, if Lorenzo was the one doing the work and Barrow was the one that had these opportunities to score, it makes sense. See, I personally thought that Barrow went through some sort of godly evolution, which allowed him to, like, maybe charge his way through the field, or maybe use his twisted path manipulation to manipulate the field as needed. But if Lorenzo was the one bringing the ball all the way from the back to the front and in the last second passing it to Barrow near the penalty area, then I really don't know how much opportunity Barrow had to kind of develop like god level, field manipulation skills, which are going to be essential if he's facing Bastard Buchan and Kaiser and Isagi. Remember, guys, I'm not saying Barrow isn't skilled. He's already OP in his own way, and it takes so much skill to score a goal in this level, and he scored a hat trick already. But the issue I have here is that Barrow's formula relies too much on Lorenzo, which is a bit disappointing because, he is the king and he is the villain and he is the solo guy, and you kind of need some individual skill, I think, when you're taking on Isagi and Kaiser. Now, I could be totally wrong, and I hope I am. I really want Ubers to win this game. I love a defensive team, and Mark Snuffy totally looks awesome, but I really don't like the Ubers' chances after this chapter. But I honestly think the greatest chance that Ubers has of winning is actually Bastard Muchen himself. Because remember, there's all this tension between Kaiser, Isagi, and Ness. And I'm pretty sure Bastard Muchen is going to self destruct before the end of this game. And that's probably what's going to get them to lose the game in the end. And that's probably one of the only ways that I see the Ubers winning this game, which I'll be honest is not satisfying, but you know what? It is what it is. And if Basset Mutual does lose the game because they were fighting amongst themselves, I can't wait to see how angry Mr. Logic God Noel Noah gets, because losing based on internal fighting in a team is one of the most illogical ways to take the L. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be pissed. Now, on a quick ending note, here's my possible theories for the next chapter, which is chapter 212. I think Isagi gets all the way to the goal but doesn't score, because come on, he is Isagi. And Isagi scoring a goal in the Neo Egoist League has been hyped up so much that I honestly have no idea when it's gonna happen. And even if it did happen, unless it's a Nagi 5-shot revolver or some other Fast and Furious level impossible goal, I'm not gonna be impressed by it. I do think Isagi and Kaiser will get into a bit of a scuffle near the penalty area, and I also think we're going to see Aiku show up and stop Isagi. I really hope that happens, because it's kind of an homage to how Aiku stopped Isagi in the U20 game, and I really want to see him level up. But yeah, those are my thoughts for what I think is going to happen in chapter 212. Honestly, I can't predict that much. I was really surprised that Isagi turned up so quickly, and I think most of the fan base was too. Anyways, guys, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Once again, thank you, be safe, and have a great day.